This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Every wine tells a story. Each growing season, it's our goal to create an artisan Napa Valley wine of exceptional quality. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.
Wineries like myself, it's a little bit smaller production, not as widely distributed or known, so it's a great way to get exposure and have new folks try the wine. I do about 1,000 cases, so I do about 500 of the Cabernet Sauvignon, purely Rutherford, and I do a Rutherford Sauvignon Blanc, and this year I'll release my first Napa Valley Rosé. You know, I think there's those hot days we have in here in California. You can't tell it this year because it's been so much rain, but you know, it's truly my rosé is quite dry. It's really in between a red and a white, so it really has the maceration. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit more robust. We do about 10% French oak, so it has a little bit of weight, a little bit of complexity to it. So I think folks will really like it. I'm excited about releasing it. Everything's Napa Valley, and it's actually the first year I've gone outside of Rutherford. So mainly been focused on the Rutherford appellation, where my family's been in the wine industry for the last 100 years. I look to continue that. This is my first year. 2016 will be the first vintage outside of Rutherford, but within Napa Valley. I wasn't a winemaker up until 2012, so this year, or starting in 2013, I started a collaboration with Fred Deliver. He's a great winemaker with a French heritage, so he has a really good balance between old world, new world, and site-specific vineyards like mine. I kind of fired myself. I mean, I couldn't be a one-man operation forever, so I really wanted to complement, my Rutherford vineyard with a winemaker who has the capacity to, to further the journey, to take it to the next level, and I think Fred's doing a great job. Yep, native of Rutherford. So, yeah, native of Rutherford. My great uncle came over after the 1906 earthquake. So I say it's my family history started with an earthquake. My great uncle came over from northern Italy, was in the city, did some work there. I didn't really like the city, so he had a relative in Napa Valley, and so he came over and he was the first winemaker for Beaulieu. So before André Chalashev, and he worked there for about 43 years at Beaulieu. So that's where it started. Then my grandfather, his nephew, moved to Niebaum. He lived on Niebaum for over 80 years. And then my father, and now myself. It really goes back to my earliest days, and since I was 6 years old in the vineyard, working with my father and grandfather. So those are the earliest memories I have, and always ascent memories of Rutherford, and the crush, hold those very close to me. Yeah, Northern Italian background. So, when my earliest memories were in Rutherford, and they actually spoke they didn't speak Italian, they spoke the Lombardy dialect. So it was all on Niebaum Lane, and there was a lot of Northern Italians, and it was a really interesting small Italian community. It's the immigration story, and when one cousin, uncle, brother goes, then the kind of village follows. So there's a lot of that occurred during that time period. I did try to get out. When you grow up here, it's such a beautiful place, but when you're younger, it's like I want to see the action, right? I want to be in a place with a bit of excitement, and I was no different. I always, appreciated here growing up, and I always knew in the back of my mind I wanted to be a part of it. So yeah, I went to university at Cal Poly. I lived in London for a while, and Italy and Spain and Japan for a little while. So I really, when I said I got out, I really got out, right? Right. So, it really exposed me to other cultures and, other ways of life. And I really learned a lot, but I also realized how good it was here. So when you go, sometimes you have to go away to come back. And I think that was it for me.
This podcast is sponsored by Release Winery. Every wine tells a story. Each growing season, it's our goal to create an artisan Napa Valley wine of exceptional quality. Join us as the story of this ultra-limited wine continues. Learn more at releasewinery.com.